experts diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robin on the mic.
Welcome back to another hour of Lisa and Robin on the mic. You are listening on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live as well as YouTube. And we are always up on Spotify after the hour is over, as well as everywhere you find your favorite podcasts. Don't forget to like and subscribe and review, because that kind of stuff apparently makes it so that
it's so important.
Yeah.
So anyone out there that can do that right now, please do it for Lisa and
please
Robin.
do it. Because otherwise people are going to be like, no one listens to you. You suck. Stop doing what you're doing. And then we have to go, no, they do like us.
I know.
They didn't heart you, but they watched.
I know.
4,000 of them watched. Only 23 liked.
Oh,
Right.
Like, subscribe.
Right.
Like it's, and I can even handle the not likings, but subscribe.
Isn't that
Subscribe
crazy
and
that our
follow.
world has come down to like popularity, like, likes, hearts, and, emojis?
Yeah. Well, even taking us back to the TED Talk thing, right? They're like, okay, if you want to apply for TED Talks, you got to have a lot of subscribers on your YouTube channel. It's like, oh my gosh, like the world
know.
like is driven by this.
Yes.
Click.
You know what
Yes.
I also did? I told myself, I have 17 people who love me. I'm going to go on their Spotify and their YouTube and just follow. Like, give me your phone. I didn't do one. I didn't do one person. I didn't ask one person, because once I was in the group, like that was the last thing on my mind.
Yes. Takes you out of the present moment.
Yes.
You know,
I
and it's
know.
like, that's the last thing, but like and
The
subscribe.
game.
So have you ever done, I might say it wrong, anagrams?
Oh, I've heard about them. That's the number, right?
Yeah.
The Enneagrams.
Yes.
Yes. And what number you are.
Yes. We just did it.
Oh, fun.
Ooh,
So-
what number are you?
No, I'm a number 9.
Nine's my favorite
I'm
number.
a pleaser.
Oh. I'm like, I was really excited because I'm like,
Well,
I love
but-
9.
But pleasers like to be in flow. And so if you read about it, if they talk about harmony and they want peace, they're always looking for the peace. So we avoid. But so the way this guy was saying to it, because I do have a temper, I'm fiery.
Very fun.
I'm feisty. But the way I described it to him, he's like, yes. Well, because my husband was asking, he's an 8, so he's a controller. And so we have a lot to learn about each other's personality types. And it helps you, just gives you tools. It gives you words to be like, oh, that makes sense. And he's like, but why? She can match me in, she can match me in her anger. And he said the best way he decided is, he's like, peacekeepers, it's like if you push a volleyball under the water, they just push it down because they want to avoid those ugly feelings. Work is a dirty word.
Right. It's a 4-letter word.
I
Don't
push
say
it down,
That's
and I said, but
Robin.
you know what happens? I actually feel it when I finally have tripped it. When I finally have done, it's like when that volleyball comes up, it skyrockets out of the water, and it shoots out like a cannon out of the water. And he's like, wow, that makes so much more sense. Like, because I can't hold it anymore.
You can only suppress so much before something breaks.
Yes. I'm at my limit of all the bad energy. But then I was actually thinking about it. I was just thinking about it. The more that we learn, the more that we realize we don't know. And I thought about it. What if, like, coming up with this number system, there's so much energy, because I think life is energy. Everything is about energy. What if that was just our best interpretation as of right now, to describe? There's so many different people in the world, and there's so many different types of characteristics. What if this tool is just a tool to say, hey, there's so many people that have this kind of energy. There's so many people that have this kind of energy. But, we also have, there's like 3 subsets too that you can be strong into. You're not just a number 9. You're also really strong in being a number 2 or a number 3.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yes. But
Part of us.
But
Part
just
of us.
learning and
That's-
reading it, yes, a part, which is beautiful. And I was like, well, maybe that's just the tool right now to help us put into words what kind of energy we are. And so we can help understand ourselves better.
Mm.
I know it kind of sounds
That's it.
It sounds
No.
weird.
No, it doesn't at all. You know, I think about the Myers-Briggs, right?
Yes.
That was, remember
did that
that
one too.
rage? Like when we
Yes.
were like extrovert, introvert, you know, intuitive, judging, perceiving. And that helped us understand ourselves and each other so well. So absolutely,
Yeah.
it's another tool that helps you understand yourself, your strengths, the areas you need to work on. And because, Robin, you really took to the parts, so you have a harmonizer part, right? Or you have a part that is a peacemaker, or you have a people pleaser, or you have a conflict avoidant part.
Yeah.
Whatever resonates for you. You know, kind
Right.
of when we first name it, it's like a placeholder, and then you name it what you want. It's a part of you.
Name it Ian.
Vivian.
Vivian.
I feel like I should have a Vivian.
You
in
guys
there.
are going to take the names to the road and the accents, apparently. That is the first. I've been doing this for a while now, and that is the first about the accent. That was brilliant. Yeah, so, and that may even help, right? Because then to know, but this is where it gets really good. So your husband has a controller part, and you have a peacemaker, or like everyone needs to harm, right? So then those parts are now
Right.
but isn't it cool? It's just a part of your husband,
and-
and it's just a part
Yes.
of you.
And what I'm learning is, like, this guy was saying that these parts, like the things that we struggle and we hit. So one of his is vulnerability. And I've been talking about harmony and ebb and flow. I've talked about masculine energy and feminine energy. And if we were actually created as one, and like use the Bible, for example, you know, and he made Adam from, you know, and we're all made in his image. You know, taking that theory, I suck at analogies, but was just thinking where his biggest weakness is vulnerability, and my biggest strengths have the power to heal him, and his biggest strengths have the power to heal me. So to me, when we can get in that flow, that's a perfect relationship. That's harmony. And it doesn't have to happen with just your, you know, your spouse. It happens in friendships. It happens in all your relationships. So I just think that's really cool. I've been learning this stuff, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Because you feel like now I've got tools. I've got language I can use
That's it.
instead of an emotion.
Yeah, like, oh, that's the controlling.
Yeah.
And I often say, and I actually believe I got it from Marianne Williamson, and I mention it in my book, that you're perfectly matched when your partner holds a mirror to your wound. That I'm always like, that's when you're perfectly matched, because then you're and
You're
if
given the opportunity to work it out.
that's it, to heal it.
Say it again. Who was it?
That's your contract. Marianne Williamson.
Yeah, but then the thing is, so you hook up with the person who's mirroring your womb, and then the whole time you're like, this isn't a wound.
I know, yeah, the defensive parts. Yeah, I know, exactly. I'm just right, and you're wrong. Black and white thinking.
What did you say?
So, you know,
Your
when
perfect
those...
partner is when you...
You can you each hold up a mirror to the childhood wound that needs to be healed. So arguments are very much like that, right? You're no longer adult to adult. It's like a wounded child to a wounded child.
So I was out of work desperately. I had to postpone my wedding because I lost my job, and I wanted to apply for this job, and they gave those tests, and I forget what the name of the test was, but it was letters. And so the position was a customer service position. So I answered the test. They were like, oh my God, you're perfect for this job. I hate customer service, by the way, but I needed that job, right? So then the role for the manager of the salespeople came up, and I said, I'm going to apply for that job. And they go, you're a IFSQ, whatever. And I go, give me the test again. And they were like, you can't fake this test. The numbers are such a way that you're answering the same questions. I go, but I know what the answer is supposed to be.
Like,
I know what that role
I'm
is.
gonna make it all for
Hold
sales.
my beer.
Yeah.
Give
Watch
me
me.
the test. Give me the test again. And they gave me the test again, and they're like, that's not possible. And I probably should have
I think you
realized
might be
at
a
that
9
point,
too.
I will chameleon to whatever you need me to be, because I just need you to give me this
I need this
money.
job. Yeah.
But how did I do that in my personal life? If I could do that 9 to 5 professionally, 8 to 5, 8 to 6:30. How is, like, that probably says something a little screwy about me, that I could chameleon because I am conflict avoidant in a lot of ways, because I never want to fight with my family.
There's that.
I'm a runner. I'll get on a plane and leave.
Mm.
What do you have a
That's right.
problem? I'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going?
I'm out. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because,
Gotta go.
which is a testament to being in a relationship as long as I've been in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for 31 years, which is a testament to that. But there is that is overriding that instinct to just bail.
Yeah, you keep choosing to come back and commit. Yeah. Well, with the chameleon part, I mean, that what's in the work situation, that part was like, we have to have this job. If we don't have this job, we're not getting married or whatever.
We're not surviving. We're
yeah.
not paying a mortgage. We're not.
Which is, it's, I mean, you know, I write about the money stories, how many
Yes.
stories we have around money. Talk about energy. Money's just energy. It's this neutral black and white
Yes,
energy. You can put it
yes.
on a spreadsheet. But man, we put stories all over it. All
And
over
no,
it.
there's a book called The Psychology of Money. If you've never read it, you'd like it. Tiny, skinny book. Read it in an afternoon. But it says that all of our stories are right because they're all based on our perception. And it's whatever experience we have is our.
That's what we project on it.
That's
Yeah.
what, and how to get over that. But that everyone calm down. You're all right. Whatever your story is, it's right because that's your lived experience of it. But you can change that experience. Is his point? But it was really interesting. I liked it.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
Stop detrimental self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yes. So when we have a part that carries a story and it's like, okay, so we'll bring it back to the story of the day, right? That if something's going really well, or if I'm feeling really good, something bad's going to happen. So then that happens. And then it's black and white. Oh, that's always the case. If I'm really happy, something bad happens, right? And so then that's across the board always true. And then you just live underneath that. And it's not, right? There's the times when you were really happy and something bad didn't happen. But we forget about that, right?
And because I have the story so ingrained in me, because life throws lots of it's a comedy and it's a tragedy. So one of my favorite movies is Stranger Than Fiction. If you've never seen it, it's Will Ferrell, and he is a character in someone's story. And he wakes up one day being able to hear the narrator, and she's narrating his story with better vocabulary. And he wakes up when she's like, and this results in his imminent death. You know, he's yelling back to the sky, "What? What death? What?" And so the whole story is him trying to figure out the story. And so he goes to meet an English professor. And so the English professor thinks you want to be a writer, but you have no interesting story. You're an IRS agent. There's no interesting story here. And he goes, "Well, I recently met a woman who told me to get bent." And she's like, "Oh, that's interesting. Let's develop this." Because he thinks you're creating your story. You don't understand that you're creating your story. Make your story. And he's like, every story has two faces. The face of the comedy and the face of the tragedy. And then later on, when the girl he's in love with is just throwing crap on him all day, she's no interest. He's auditing her, right? So she's no interest in him. She's like, "Why are you making notes?" He's like, "I think I'm in a tragedy." Because he's trying to keep track of how many tragedies.
when it's tragedy and when it's comedy.
So he keeps writing down, if she laughs at his joke, he puts a little one in the column of tragedy. But by the end of the day, he's got all the ones in the tragedy.
Oh.
But I do think of life like that. There is comedy and there's tragedy. It doesn't seem like when I had a family member, so I'm related to other people, but their story is completely different than my story, even though we have the same family. Completely normal.
Oh, yeah.
Completely normal. And I've lost a mother, a father. I have no brothers and sisters. Like, you go through the whole thing, and then this family member finally at 48 lost a family member. And she's saying stuff that I'm thinking, oh yeah, I've dealt with that 30-something years ago with my first major death. And I had to try to remember because I had said something, and she said, "This is the first time I'm having to deal with this."
Yeah.
And then I had to go back, oh yeah, what was it like when I was...
Yeah. And have compassion for that.
And have compassion for a part. And then I think, wow, how lucky that the first time you're rubbing up against this. is in your late 40s instead of at, a young age.
Well, it depends on how you look at it and what story you put to it, because you could say that because you had all that, it gave you all of that, like empathy,
Yes.
compassion, the other things. So again,
Yeah.
not black and white.
Yes, yeah,
right?
and it probably did change my capacity.
Yes. Yeah.
It changed my capacity
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's so surreal, right? It's such a surreal thing. But it's funny, the tragedy and comedy thing. It makes me think about when at funerals, when people just start bursting out laughing.
Yes.
Right? That's an example of both being
Yes.
held, right? You're here, you're devastated, but like the family starts, they're literally crying and laughing at the same
Yes.
time.
I think that always comes out of a relief. You need a relief from that much grief. And I think that's one of the things, like when I came to you, you helped me with my vision boards. Because I realized I had only ever made a grief board.
Oh, that's right.
I just put dead stories up. Oddly.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that was a vision board. And then I'm like, I don't think I'm doing this right.
So, do you know, when we were talking about movies, I think that we should go back. I saw it years ago. It's called Inside Out. It's a kids movie.
Yep.
And they have characters, and it's like they're on a spaceship, and they have all these characters, but they're inside of her brain. And it's, I think they just
What's
came
the
out
name
with
of it?
Inside Out. It's a kids movie, and I think Inside Out 2 is out too.
Yes.
I think it's well worth. And I'm like, I'm actually going to write it down. We're going to watch that tonight.
Well, they consulted with the IFS Institute
Yes.
for that movie.
Really?
Did they?
Yes. Yeah.
It's so well. It's well worth it. It's well worth it.
It's all about the parts, and
Yes.
being able to hear them all out and integrate them and not have them hijack you, but
Yes.
have them a part of your system. And I know for the second one too, they consulted with IFS for it, and then also I don't know if you know Kristen Neff. She is an incredible leader around self-compassion, and so I know Inside Out 2 has a teenager, and so the importance of modeling compassion and self-compassion at that age and stage of life.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that you brought it up. You're on the parts wave. You're riding that IFS. You're gonna
I love that.
take it into shore.
I'm rowing hard, man. I just need an engine.
A sail. You just need your sail up and the wind to blow.
Yes, a sail would be good. Yes. I like that.
Can we talk about gaining clarity around who and what supports your best life?
Yes. Oh, that makes me think a little bit about what you were just saying too, Lisa. Just you sometimes have to take the time to make sure that that a part of you that may be running on a story that no longer serves you is leading the show. And so you may be doing something or saying yes to something because the part that feels like you have to please this person or you have to have approval from that person.
Or you have to make money.
Yeah. Yes. And just so definitely taking the time to really gain an understanding of where it's coming from and does this serve me, whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether, really, really helping to get clearer about that.
Yeah, and we on the break we were talking about something that I've been working on a lot lately is, am I performing? Is this a performative thing? And I noticed the most in social media. So I have a couple of things. The very first page I started was a Bookstagram page because I love reading. And I thought, this is the way I'll get into social media. This is the group I want to meet with. It was in COVID. We'll do book stuff, And I was writing a book, I thought it was perfect for that. And then I realized, everyone comes onto the internet and just craps all over things. I'm not going to be that person. If I don't like a book, I'm not talking about it. I don't need to do a 45-page dissertation about why this didn't speak to me.
Preach.
Well, this person spent 10 years of their life, got an agent, got a team of 25 people to put this book out in the world, and I'm like farting on it, like, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, that's kind of what I want to bring to all social media. It's the premise of the show. We do talk about things we don't like a lot, but we try not to. We try to bring, you have plenty of that. We're trying to bring what we do like. And in doing that, both performatively, it makes me also do it more in my real life. But I have to be careful about, am I doing this as a performative act? or am I doing this as an authentic act? Because I don't need to put, I'm getting towards the back 9 on the golf course, and I need to do less, unless I am performing, but I'm trying to do more authentically because there is apparently a limited time. And
yeah, it's funny. It makes me think about being really clear about your mission and your purpose, right? Which I know is such a heavy existential question, which I always talk about COVID.
yeah,
I feel like COVID forced so many people all of a sudden were like, wait, there's a global pandemic. Why on earth am I here? What am I here to do? And we just like started to do it. And so I think it's so important to us. And I know it's a heavy ask. And sometimes it's as simple as I'm here to help other people smile, right? Or it's something that's more rooted. For me, obviously, it's this mission that's become just like my North Star, and I just go back to it. And having that awareness of like what is important to me, what do I value, and then you can kind of, okay, is this aligned with that, or is this someone else's mission? That doesn't support mine.
but I think it's interesting because to do mine requires a little bit more work. Because you can get stuck in the hard.
Yeah. There's all the baby steps, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Yes.
There's all the baby steps. In my book, I call them little dreams. And then there's the big dreams. So you have all the little dreams that get you to the big dream. But you keep that big dream in sight and then know that every little dream is a step toward it. And we're going to be thrown off. We're human, right? We're going to have those self-doubt stories. We're going to have the defeated stories. We're going to want to give up. But being able to come back to that again and again.
And sometimes we go off track. We're still on the same tree, but we're out on a different limb.
Yes, yeah.
And we're out like, what happened out here? How am I over here?
How do I get back?
How do I get back on that piece? Is there anything?
Well, what tools do you have for like getting back? Like when people when you feel stuck, like what are tools that you can share that help people equip to get back? I know sometimes like if I'm just overloaded with emotions, I have to move my body, and I like to be outside, or I start gardening, just something simple like that, and I feel like then it just helps you. Or I do like retail therapy too. I mean, a little bit of shopping makes everything better, but
right. But if that doesn't align with your goals, because you're supposed to be, so I found that I was unconsciously retail therapying some problems, and I gave myself it was self-imposed, but it came from the outside world of like, you got to stop spending money, or you spend plenty of money. You got to figure out what you need to spend money on, what you don't need to spend money on, because you're just throwing money at stuff as if money will fix a problem, which it doesn't. So I had to like back way off that. And so what I started to do for anyone who's trying to cut their retail therapy down, I would take pictures of it because I felt like I was possessing it. Because sometimes it was impulsive. It would make me feel good, but it was short-lived. But sometimes I had the idea that I wanted to possess the thing. Because I don't know if that was going to say something about me, or like it would be more towards what beautiful clothes, for example. I want to possess the beautiful clothes. Well, I have I have a closet I have 3 closets full of beautiful clothes, right? Do I really need another thing right at this moment? And sometimes the answer is yes. I have somewhere to wear that. I do. And then sometimes the answer is no. What are you looking to do? I'm filling another void. I'm not, for me, it was, I'm not looking at something. Or I have another problem I can't fix. So I'm fixing what I think is a problem, which is I don't have an outfit for Friday.
Well, I feel like sometimes it's one of the things I've been telling my daughter when,
Can I interrupt you for 1 second just to finish that?
Yeah.
Because I really value experiences.
Yes.
And so there were experiences I wanted to have. Well, that takes money, and I can either allocate it towards this or this.
Yes. But I feel like it's learning to give yourselves treats. And so however it shows up. I mean, and we use clothes definitely for some healing.
I am waving over myself.
Chris is like, hey, have a great show. And I literally texted him. I said, I'm late and I'm hoofing it down the street in my fairy slippers. My little sparkly shoes.
I love it. They're adorable.
But I do. So when I have to do that, and I feel like, okay, it's not, I'm not going to go out and buy a pair of Louboutins, even though I really, really want them. I'm not. I'm going to settle on something different. Whether it's just, I don't know, it's something. So me, yes, it is possessing it, and I'm like, ooh, I like that. But what I found is it doesn't even have to be that. If I come away with something, so a lot of times I'll go to the grocery store and I'm like, I'm going to make an amazing meal. Something that I'm actually feeling like I'm giving myself a treat. Or I'll go pick up something. I'll go pick up my favorite
it feels
candy
indulgent.
or something. And I feel like, because I feel like I don't want to punish me. I want to learn to love me, and I don't want to be denied. And I mean, I don't want to be denied. So I was just saying, like, if I can't afford that dress, I will find something. And maybe that's messed up too. But I feel like bringing it home, it gives me something else to focus on, and it's like makes me feel good. So it's almost like that little. It's empowering me to be like, okay, it helps me to move past this. All right, I can let some of that negative energy go.
So to me, I didn't realize the possession thing until I was taking photos of stuff. It came, the idea of possession came out of the action, not the other way around. I didn't intend on possessing it by taking a photo of it. I realized that if I looked through, I got the same feeling as possession. Like that's mine for a weirder. I mean, I'm probably not even articulating it properly, but the books are the best way I can do it. I buy books not even to read them. I have them on my shelf if I ever decide to read them, but I feel good knowing they're there.
Yeah.
That anytime I like, or sometimes I'm supporting authors or I'm supporting, books have I think it's valuable to spend money on books. I think people who do that, art is another thing I think is valuable to spend money on. Experiences is another thing I think is valuable to. But I could spend money on anything, really.
So what's your takeaway? What's your analysis of us, real quick?
Well, first of all, we're on the couch.
Of our retail therapy.
You crack me up. So, I just unpacking. I'll say unpacking what. So, Robin, I feel like your first question was, what if we have this goal or we have this mission, but then we get thrown off?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you were saying.
Yes.
Do you have tools to get people back on track? And so I feel like when you were talking about nature, which absolutely, and for you shopping, and that's where I think it's like different things, right? Different things bring joy to different people.
Yes.
Like I get really overwhelmed by being in a store. So it's different things, right? You probably have a passion for fashion. Didn't know that was going to rhyme until it came out. But, and for you, it was, I feel like you were talking, Lisa, more about just really getting closer about what you value and like lining up the purpose and the meaning behind shopping. So for you, it was like a stress reliever. It was a coping mechanism. How do I get through? So I have this goal in mind. I have this mission, and then I hit a bump. I hit something that's derailing me. What gets me back centered? And so you had mentioned the being in nature helps you get centered. Moving helps you get centered. Going shopping helps you get centered. And absolutely, I think people have to know what it is that helps them find their center, and bringing in some IFS again, finding that self with a capital S, right? Finding that clarity, finding that connection with your goal. Because it's true. I always say, like, I joke that as soon as so I call it like a knock on our heart, a knock on our heart about something that we want to do and we love to do. And I believe that it's often also our dharma or our gift or our purpose in this lifetime. Like I believe that there's often, if we're feeling love and passion and joy about something constructive, it's not, and
heroin. I love heroin.
Exactly. Nope.
No.
If we're feeling love and passion and joy about something, I believe that very much it's connected to something we're supposed to give in this, again, getting into people different beliefs, but that's what I believe. I believe that oftentimes as soon as we do that, that's when we're tested. As soon as we do that, that's when but I'm not that good. But it's really hard. There's too many things I have to do to get there. I'm not going to be able to do that. That takes this, that takes that. I don't have all the stories, right? So that's a big part. I call it the divine dream dance, because I really feel
that's good.
It's a dance that we all go through in a day, throughout a period of time. We might go back and be like, oh yeah, this is what I love. This is what I want. And boom, we hit a story, right? So how do we keep going through it? So I talk a lot about, finding what the tools are, right? So for different people, it's going to therapy, it's going to a healer, it's doing a creative expression, doing something that helps us realign and remember what's most important, and just making sure, keeping an eye. I talk a lot about mindfulness and awareness, which is exactly what you did with your shopping analysis. Talking about mindfulness and awareness, because we have to be mindful of what we are feeding, right? It's come up a couple times in my mind. Feed the good wolf?
Yes.
That awesome.
Yes.
That's probably Navajo, right? And really making sure, like, okay, so I'm feeding the doubt. All right.
Feeding the worry.
Yes.
Feeding the fear.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me want to lob into a different topic for a second. Someone in my world, in love, these two people, I love them both, in love, but I think it's fears coming up, because now one person is all of a sudden really trying to control the other person. And at first it seemed like it was an occasional thing about one thing, but then it started to, like, it's making everyone around these people go like, do we have to put this person in a home? Like, what's happening here that this person is tamping down. And so I think, I'm not a psychoanalyst at all, but I love to play one on the radio. If I were to, I would say,
dim their light.
No, what I think what's happening is you were in love once and that didn't work out. Now you have a second opportunity to be happy and in love, and you're trying to find. There's a fearful part of you that's afraid the same exact thing is going to happen. And if you think, instead of just falling in love with a friend, falling in love with a person, falling in love with, it requires uncertainty, because there's a whole nother.
There's always a risk.
Person with agency who has their whole thing going on. And now you have to go with the uncertainty. And they may break your heart. They may be similar to the first relationship that didn't work out. Like, all of that stuff, these unknowns. And so to deal with the unknown, you're trying to control the person, thinking you can control the love. But what you're really doing is making this person.
What you're doing is recreating
the
your
first problem.
relationship.
Yes. And that's a big thing sometimes with these, with parts work, is the idea that our parts are working to do opposite of what they're trying, right? The part may be there to protect you and make sure that this relationship doesn't end, but you're actually feeding that and forcing that. So yeah, absolutely. We would, this person would have to help us understand what is the intention and purpose of that controlling part. And there's a really good chance. So control and anxiety, control and fear, very much linked, right? Because anxiety is fear of the unknown, uncertainty, vulnerability. But if we feel like we have a sense of control, that can change it, right? That can shift it. And again, to an extreme, right? Because it's good to have, like you talked about, a lot of agency and empowerment. It's good to have some sense of control. But when we do it to an extreme, and obviously it sounds like the energy behind this is one that's very fearful, right? I always say, is it?
Well, because I try to find a compassionate reason for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give a benefit of the doubt, because what it comes across is like, stop that.
Yeah.
Like you're embarrassing you're embarrassing them, you're embarrassing us. We don't want to be part of this, because it's like now an argument. When you watch someone, it's almost like she's not 3 touching a stove.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like,
yeah,
you're, and now we're participating in it.
Yeah.
And we don't want to.
Yeah. We don't
But
want
we
to
are.
be subject to this. But that part has completely hijacked this person and taken over, and is very much probably fear driven. It's not love driven, right? It's
insecurity.
Not, yeah, exactly. And not trusting life, not trusting the risk, not trusting themselves.
So trusting the other person.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah, and it's
not even so much as trusting the other person. I think it's about trusting themselves. To let go, to love, to let go, to lean in.
Well, I
to
think what's interesting in relationships
allow.
is we look at another person and say, I love you, don't hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We're all bumping up against things. I am going to step on your toes in this dance.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't stab you with a kitchen knife.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I'm reading a book and that's like a thing right now going on.
Well, there is that.
No, there's a book. It's called The Tenant. It's really good. It's really, really good. So my old property
Hide your
manager
knives, hide your kids.
hide your keys. I'll stab you
What
in
was
the eye
that
with a
one?
key.
You know, what was the kid? You know, hide your kids, hide your Lincoln Park thing, the meme. Oh my gosh! You know when he, what was? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know Lincoln Park, the
Band?
The band.
No. I'll have to go back.
Oh, the cartoon. She's probably
No,
thinking-
it's a meme.
Oh,
It was a YouTube. The guy was being interviewed on TV, and he's like, "Hide your kids, hide hide your wife." I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll find it and play it for you because that's what made me think about you pulling out the kitchen knife.
No, and the reason
Hide
why
your
I
knives.
joke about the like,
Yes.
when you're in a relationship, other than there is the sense that I'm giving you my life, I'm giving you a piece of me, I'm giving you my happy, because we're yoking ourselves, right? You want to do that intelligently. I've been seeing all this stuff all over, I think it's Instagram,
I will show you
saying
my heart.
this person was saying you can quit a crappy job, you can quit or whatever. If you partner up with a psychopath or a lunatic, your life could be altered for the rest of your life. You could have a kid with this person and be perpetually tied to them and all of this stuff. And that has put this idea in that, sometimes we have made life so comfortable and safe. Yes, it's dangerous in a car. It's dangerous in a plane. We have dangers. We're eating ourselves to death. We're killing ourselves with Doritos and cake. Yes. But the most treacherous thing that we see on a daily basis is our interactions. Emotionally. It seems like we're out of the day-to-day physical harm, hopefully, and we're more into emotional harm.
Yeah, toward ourselves or toward each other,
Yes.
or toward each other as a result of what we're doing to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when you joked about whatever, and I'm like, I make the joke about heroin, like, oh, we love heroin, whatever. But and it was partly I make that joke because we can love things that are good for us and we can love things that are bad for us.
Yeah, and it's funny. I'm finding myself going down this path, and I hope it's okay. Another layer of our parts and another layer of some of the stories that they carry when we talk about addiction in any form, whether it's heroin or to the phone, shopping, whatever. What purpose is that serving? And so again, no bad parts, right? So a lot of times they're trying to extinguish, in IFS they call it firefighters, because they're trying to extinguish and get rid of the discomfort or the pain,
Yep.
right? And usually it is seeking love and acceptance and all those basic needs that we have, or just sometimes peace because you're feeling so like your body's so physically uncomfortable. So almost like what you did, Lisa, with, okay, why am I shopping? What is the goal? What is the, and understanding a little bit more, because the fire, there's a reason. There's a reason why that part is right. There's a reason why people get addicted. There's they besides it just being a chemical thing, that part was there trying to help ease some of their pain, help ease some of the wounds and some of the feelings from that. So it's just an interesting, I hope it's okay that I went down that road.
Oh, no,
Absolutely.
absolutely. There's nothing's taboo, actually.
Okay.
Nothing's
No,
taboo.
just
because
ends up
it's the
grabbing
stuff
it.
that we put in the shadows that we don't illuminate that continue to follow us around and scare us in the dark.
That's right.
You gotta, and
That's right.
and one of the things, like, so my mother, and every listener knows my mother had struggled with addiction, and it really broke apart our family. And for me, I was the black sheep because I wanted to bring the addiction into the light. Because we're never solving it, but pretending it's not existing.
Right.
And it's killing
whistleblower.
her. And it's killing her, and I have to watch this and witness this. But nobody else wanted to bring it into the light. So it's why my birth family and I have as many problems as we have, trying to struggle and then I'm the runner. I'm never winning these fights. I'm never solving anything. I'm out of here because I didn't have I didn't know how to interact in their world without playing the part they wanted me to play. So if I wasn't that role, I was the problem, and I don't want to play this role. This role isn't what
It's not
I
authentic.
see it as clear
This
as
does not fit
day.
me.
Yeah.
This
Well,
outfit does not fit me.
I
Brings
am
it back to
poorly-
fashion.
When you're saying it, I'm like, hey, Lisa, a little Lisa with her blonde curly hair and, with the megaphone standing in the room. Hey, doesn't everybody see this elephant? And everybody's like,
Yes.
no, I don't want to see the elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's under the carpet. We keep it under the
Yeah.
carpet. It's like, it's not under the carpet. It is in the middle of the room.
It just pooped in the
So
kitchen,
real.
man.
Yes. It is
Whole house smells.
pooping
No.
everywhere in this house.
So real. The
Yeah.
dynamics around addiction. They're like textbook.
And it's funny. It took me, she passed away a decade or more ago, but it took me almost a decade to forgive her.
Yep.
And isn't that like the most bizarre thing that I wasn't even able to forgive a dead person? Like the stories, and I kept saying, I'll forgive her because the stories have stopped.
So yeah, no, it's forgiveness is a whole other thing that we carry stories around, right? So sometimes people feel like if they forgive, then they're forgetting,
Or
right?
the condoning.
Yes, exactly. If they forgive, then it's going to happen again. If they forgive, they're going to be vulnerable and hurt. Like there's so many stories around forgiveness, even though it literally does set us free. There's sometimes a lot of parts that are not okay with that. And there may have been a part of you that was just still, carrying some stuff. I mean, there's probably layers there, right, Lisa?
Oh,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
And even sometimes something will happen and I'd be like, oh, we're not doing like
I know, we're
boring.
back there. We're back there.
And I just tell myself, boring. Like, this is so boring. We have played this drum. It is boring. It's a boring song. It's the same song. Like, I don't want to hear it.
I know. And then
New stories.
you think about the mother-daughter, though, like,
Yes.
right? And you think about just the umbilical cord and just all the dynamics that just go with that connection. And
And at the time, the story was, because this is 40 plus years ago, is she's your mother. Only the mother is only Mary, mother with Jesus on the cross, mother. There was only one mother. And it was like, well, that's not everyone's mom, because she's a person. She's going through this human experience as a person, and I'm saying she's failing because she's about to die.
and little Lisa was just trying to save her life, which is huge. Right? Talk about bravery, talk about well-intended, talk about wise.
Right, but what I couldn't understand was, why are none of you seeing this?
Yeah, why doesn't anybody else have my back?
Right.
And they were just so entrenched.
It's
in
when
the
everyone
dynamics.
says they're looking at a different story. She's wearing a red dress, and you're like, is everyone out of their mind? It's bluish gray. Like, and you
Yeah,
get into
yeah.
that, and you're like,
Yeah.
am I crazy?
Yeah.
Or are they crazy?
Yeah.
Right. Well, and again, it's like, well, what's wrong with me?
Yes.
How else can I say it? Like, it does, and it comes back being like not good enough. Like, because am I not saying
Yeah.
the words right? Why is there nobody helping me?
Or you constantly feel undermined that you're like, is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait a second.
that's
15
that not
people
good
can't
enough.
be wrong.
Like, is it?
It
Yeah,
is.
you know.
It is. And
Right.
and you think about your mother's addiction, and only she could change that, right? It's beautiful that you did not want to align with putting the wool over your eyes. Again, I can't say any other word but bravery and
Right.
courage, right? And courage is one of the C's. Maybe that's the one I forgot.
Yeah.
But, so that's just beautiful. But it began and ended with your mom. But you can see how, especially as a child, because developmentally, children, right, have the egocentric. So they believe the world revolves around them. So as a child, it's hard not to say, A, how did I not fix that?
Yes.
So then I'm not enough, right?
Yes.
And then B, how come no one had my back?
And if she loved me, she wouldn't do it.
Yes, there. Now
If
that
I was
story,
good enough,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
goosebumps. That
Right,
one,
yes.
that you just nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just nailed it with that one.
Yep.
Yep. My mom wouldn't be doing this if she loved me. My mom would be hearing me. My mom would, and then you think about how if you carry that story, right? You
in a backpack.
yes, with bricks.
With bricks wherever I
added
go.
on it, yes.
And then it's like, well, then they don't.
Yes.
And it's
Yep.
that's how we do it.
That's it. That's exactly it. And like you were saying earlier, if it's in the shadows, forget it. You don't even know. It's just blindsiding you in this job. It's blindsiding you in this relationship. So it's like, okay, how do we bring the story to light and heal that little Lisa that just had that? Because how could you not?
Right.
How could you not have
Right.
that as a
Right.
child, right?
But now I'm at the point where I'm 53. I don't have to have this in the middle of the room. Now I brought it out to light and it's in the middle of the room.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be in the room all the time.
No.
Can I put it back in the closet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
yeah.
I find so much, and that's why I tell myself it's boring. Because if I tell myself it's boring, it's like, oh, put that over there.
Well, it's-
Because it's been lived, it's been talked
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
You know, this
Yeah.
poor radio show's heard this all the time. But I do think actually it's very pertinent today because what we understood about drug addiction 40 or 50 years ago was different than what we understand about drug addiction today. But we still have addiction and we still have a drug problem. And I think, you know, hundreds of thousands of people a year are dying from addiction. So my story as not the drug addicted, but the witness of the drug addiction, that story multiplies because if you have, say you have 140,000 people dead from drug addiction, they all have mothers, fathers, sisters,
Yes.
daughters, brothers, friends.
The family's impacted. Yeah, 100%.
So
So,
they're
but
all the
maybe-
me, so that
maybe-
multiplies it.
Maybe it keeps cropping up because now that you've done a lot of work, especially in the last 2 years that I've known you.
Yep.
So maybe it is pushing you to coming or popping up because you now have the ability to speak from the wound. I mean,
the
speak from the
scar.
Speak from the scar, so that you can actually help other people's wounds heal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that might
That'd
be
be
the reason
nice.
why. But see, like, but putting a positive, like, well, why did you come back up?
Yeah.
But maybe like there was something that you felt that was relevant. But maybe it's just because your language is different since
Yes.
I've known you, the way that you used to say it versus how you say it now.
A lot of the anger's gone.
Yeah, but you speak with enough
Separation. Like she's more separate.
separation, but empowered and not
Wounded.
the wounded.
Mm.
And so maybe those are some of the reasons why it comes up, because maybe there's
And I think the
somebody out there that's
forgiveness piece makes the anger piece, dissipates the anger piece.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. Forgiveness definitely reduces suffering. And I love the idea that, you know, forgiveness, you don't just do it once. You have to keep doing it
Yes.
again and
Oh,
again and
yes.
again.
Oh yeah.
And then also the layers, right? So they often talk about the layers of an onion in our healing, right? So you've been peeling layers over the past 2 decades, which kudos to you, right? There's so many people who don't choose the healing journey, and we have to respect that that's their choice, but it's a beautiful thing when you do. And like you're saying, Robin, you can help everyone else. So Dick Schwartz, the founder of IFS, he talks about the layers of garlic cloves, excuse me. So you have the garlic bulb, that's us. So you have to peel that, and then all of our parts are
Oh,
garlic
beautiful.
clove. And
Yes.
so that little part that still carries that backpack
Yep.
of some of the stuff, sometimes she's like, oh, we got another layer, you know, she comes back in the room. And so
Yeah.
maybe, but I understand, and maybe that's something you and her can kind of talk about, like, I get it. Can you just say it quick?
Right.
Can we make this quick?
Is there anything new to add?
Keep it under a paragraph.
If there's something new to add, throw it out there now.
Yeah.
If not, maybe we just don't react
I
this
know.
one.
Because Joy's got her bikini on and she's ready to go. Can you just make it quick?
There you go. Bring it
Joy
into
and hope and faith, those all fun girls are going to the party.
Right.
I love
They're going to a
The
concert.
party girls are ready. Let's just wrap this
They're
up.
in the van. They're in the
Yeah.
limo. Not a
Yeah.
van, the limo.
Yeah.
They're in
Yeah.
the limo.
Maybe
Yeah.
you could just like take some of those bricks right out of her backpack.
Yeah.
And then she can go with you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I found and
gives me
we've got
goosebumps.
like 3 minutes left. I wanted to talk about the retreat that you have. I wanted to talk about your book. I wanted to talk about projects that you have going on because I think this radio show has unwillingly been the witness, the herd of my voice that probably healed me 10 years and 2 years.
Love it.
Yeah.
This is performing
Yes.
and being witnessed
Yes.
and being heard.
So
being
tell me about the fun things that you have coming up. Where can everyone find you? Where can someone wants to come and see you and we had a great couch
I want a copy
day.
of your book.
We had a couch day.
Oh my gosh, I wish I brought
She doesn't
another
want-
one. I'll send you one. Let me
She
get your
doesn't
address,
want to
Robin.
share mine. I'm like, I'll give you mine. She's like, no, I want my own.
Oh my
Yeah, I need to.
All right, I'll send
Because then we can be like, hey, go over here and look at page 42.
Right.
I can't because you have it.
I know.
Well, when one of
Did
us
you
is
highlight that?
when one of us is losing our mind, turn to page 67. She writes about it on the third paragraph.
Oh my God, I love it. Please,
yes,
please.
yes, yes. I need one.
I want
need it.
that.
I need it.
So yeah, so if you go to just my website, which is jenniferhcarey.com, JenniferHcarey.com, because Jen Carey and all the other ones were taken. So it's jenniferhcarey.com. Everybody knows that story that's been there. jenniferhcarey.com. There'll be a place where you can order the book. I have a workshop on Saturday. So if people wanted to see me in person in Salem, Massachusetts, I have a workshop on Saturday that's illuminating the stories through your body. So using gentle yoga and mindfulness to illuminate a story and break through it and transform it. And yes, so my retreat is called Weekend of Wonder. If you go to the wowretreat.com and stay connected there, I'm hoping to have one in 2026. So
That sounds fun.
I feel like you should go to my Humble Warrior yoga studio. I feel like we could do something with them, something fun. Maybe we should do something fun.
Yes, we should do something fun.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
collab.
We need to do. We need to have you come up here and do a movement, dance,
Yes.
yoga kind of thing.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thank
Let's
you.
do it. Oh my gosh, my pleasure. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for
you.
having me,
Yes.
Lisa and
Oh my
Robin.
gosh,
This was
thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
So much fun.
Until next week, you are listening to Lisa and Robin on the mic with Robin, not Sandra.
Yes.
On WSMN 1590 AM 95.3 FM. You can always watch, stream, and listen on YouTube as well as Spotify, everywhere you find your podcasts. But we are here live every Thursday, 10 to noon. Like, subscribe, join, follow, meet us in person, come do fun things. Until next week, guys, have a good one.
WSMN 1590, WSMN 95.3 FM Nashua. Listen, watch, and stream at WSMN.live.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Looks like a meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will be happening. ABC News Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz.
There is optimistic talk from the White House and the Kremlin this morning